Hi everyone, as you can see, I am in the forest and I am in Southern Oregon. It's August 21st. I wrote down what I wanted to talk about on my phone because I won't remember. My short-term memory is a little impacted. So I wanted to talk about guanfacine and NAC, how long COVID affects the brain. It affects the mitochondria and microglia, how guanfacine and NAC can help with that, and just how I'm feeling overall and what I'm doing next. I read a study and I'm going to post the study link in the description box so you can look at it later, because you should always question people's sources and never take anything for just face value. This is what I learned about COVID-19 and how it affects the brain. So COVID-19 increases inflammation and calcium dysregulation on the body. And when that happens, when inflammation increases, it also increases this byproduct called CAT2. I don't know exactly what it is, but all I know is CAT2 fits perfectly in the synapses of our brain. So the synapses can't receive and send signals as well because it's being blocked by this CAT2. And I think that explains my brain fog. So the calcium, when there's a lot of calcium in the body just floating around, it overwhelms the mitochondria. And instead of the mitochondria being on their own, like a little, like this, oblong, they reorient themselves into this thing called MOAS, mitochondria on a string, and they're together like and this formation is associated with Alzheimer's type brains. And when they're in this MOAS shape, the mitochondria tell the microglia to remove spikes and go into phagocytosis. So microglia are immune system cells for the brain. And when the spikes are removed, phagocytosis is a process where they just eat things, and it reduces gray matter because they're eating the gray matter. And this is concerning to me because eating gray matter is eating the brain. And another thing with the calcium overload is there is a cycle called the sodium-potassium pump cycle with the neurons, and the sodium-potassium pump, I forget exactly how the cycle is, but this ending part, the potassium, controls the opening of the synapse at the bottom. And when there's too much calcium, that potassium opening at the bottom is opening too much. It's like you're pooping too much. It's like you have diarrhea. So when that is out of sync, then the synapses are not speaking very well, and it reduces, what does it reduce here? It reduces neuronal signaling. What NAC and guanfacine does, it helps to bring all of that into balance and reduces the brain fog and the negative side effects. So NAC combines with that CAT2 that comes from the inflammation. So because it's combined, there's less CAT2 floating around, and there's less floating around, so there's less in the neurons, and that means the neurons can signal better, and also the mitochondria are not as overwhelmed. The guanfacine, it helps to reduce that potassium portion of the sodium-potassium pump, so the neuron is not pooping as much, and it improves the signaling between the neurons. Both NAC and guanfacine reduce neuroinflammation, and that's how it's helping with brain fog. And I feel 10% better because I can read a little bit now. I read that study and I was able to summarize it. I wasn't able to retain the information. I read the study. I maybe retained 75% of the information or 50% of the information, and I didn't have all the information, and I had to reread it again and fill in the blanks where I didn't have the information. Usually I can read, understand, and just summarize right away without having to reread it. I can just go in one go, but this I had to read multiple times, but I'm now able to read. So that's progress. So that's what I learned about guanfacine and NAC, and that's how my brain fog is. It's a little bit better. I can read, But yesterday, when we were at a different campsite, I wasn't able to pay for that campsite, and I was overwhelmed and confused, and I felt like a baby. I felt like I was 4 years old. I didn't have the emotional capacity to deal with having to pay for the slip. It was really hard at the end of the day. I'm still not 100% with my brain functioning. And I also read in the study that the neuroinflammation impacts a specific portion of the brain that is responsible for higher level cognition. I'm assuming that's why my calculus is not as, like, I can't do math as well, I can't read as well, and I can't understand creative ideas as well or think outside of the box because that's like excess. I started taking guanfacine on August 15th, and I already seen a noticeable difference in my stats. This is my HRV, and I was not averaging more than 75, but I started taking it on the 15th, and there's been a big increase. The other day it was at 123, yesterday was 105. I expect it to get higher as my autonomic nervous system calms down. HRV is an average of the two systems of your central nervous system, and the lower the number is, that means your autonomic nervous system is just going crazy. But it seems like the guanfacine and NAC, I'm going to try to get more lighting, the guanfacine and NAC, the guanfacine and NAC seems to be calming down the autonomic nervous system, resulting in a higher number in my HRV, and my resting heart rate has been dropping. I was drinking chamomile tea and breathing and meditating it, and the lowest it was ever was maybe 55. 55 was the lowest, which is this bump here. 55 was the lowest. Come on, 55. And I couldn't get it to go below 55. And when your heart rate is lower, your heart is not working so hard and your body can heal. It's not being overused. So I'm really happy about the reduction in the lowering of the resting heart rate, so my body can be more in a healing mode. I still have dysautonomia and POTS, and I feel like dysautonomia is like a breadboard with all of the jumper cables and the resistors in there, and when my dysautonomia and POTS relapse, I feel like all of the connections are taken out and everything's malfunctioning. It's not working the way it should, or some things are not working at all. I really just have to rest until all of the parts of my body are connected again. And one thing I can do to regulate my dysautonomia, I went to a seminar yesterday, is breathe. Breathing can help regulate the nervous system, calm it down. We can also excite it. I will show you some Fitbit stats. And I think I am ready to start doing a recovery type workout. I went to a seminar, and the POTS dysautonomia expert was suggesting that I start with some in-bed reclined exercises like leg raises or arm things. But I think I am ready to do a recovery style low impact workout, which will consist of 10 squats, then 10 wall push-ups. Trying to get some lighting here, but you know what? It's okay. 10 wall push-ups, 30 seconds of walking planks, and 60 seconds of low impact jumping jacks, 60 seconds of standing twists, and that's one round. And you do it for 3 rounds. It's a low impact workout. I'm only going to push. I'm not going to push. I'm only going to go until my body tells me it's time to stop, because I need to be kinder to myself. There's not a lot of lighting here, but take a look at this beautiful forest. I'm going to be kind to my body and facilitate the healing by doing a lot of deep breathing. Just want to show you guys the camping spot. Deep breathing, and only push as much as my body would like to go without really pushing, being kind. We're not being mean to our bodies anymore. Anyways, I will talk to you later. We're on our way to Burning Man. This is why I'm in Southern Oregon, and I will try to record again and upload again. Okay, bye.